So Pilu came to me when she was 5. She had a lot of lethargy for the owner, and she had mild gingivitis. She wasn't eating as much, not playing as much. And when we checked her, we found that she was mycoplasma positive. She also had been on a grain-free diet. Now, sometimes grain-free diets can be implicated in dilated cardiomyopathies in both dogs and cats. She definitely did have a dilated phenotype when we did an echo. Left ventricle was dilated more than normal. The walls were thin, it wasn't contracting as well, and she had some arrhythmia going on. She was treated for the mycoplasma. She was taken off that grain-free diet, and supplements were added, and medication was given to her to help the heart contract better. And she seemed to be doing a lot better. She was monitored over a period of 2 years, where the owner would bring her in almost every month, month and a half, just to check. Sometime earlier this year, she went into what we call a third degree aortic block. So that means that the atria, that is the upper chambers of the heart, and the ventricles, the lower chambers of the heart, do not communicate with each other in synchrony electrically. So the atria are pacing at their own rate and the ventricles are pacing at their own rate. And this can lead to some more cardiac changes where the heart muscle is not beating properly, and because of that, people see an exaggeration of the wall thinning that we had noticed earlier. Following visit, we noticed that the ventricular rate had dropped down. She was getting really lethargic, and then we placed a Holter on her and realized that she was in need of a pacemaker. Putting a pacemaker in a cat is different from putting one in a normal sized dog, because it's too small for them to have a lead placed through the vein into the right heart. So normally the leads are placed on the surface of the heart itself. So we call them epicardial leads. So the leads are placed on the surface of the ventricle, and then they are connected to a generator in the abdomen, and that is how the pacing works. What happens in this case is that it becomes an open surgery. So we are opening the chest, we're making an incision in the chest, exposing the heart, putting the leads, suturing the leads onto the surface of the heart, and then that wire is tunneled through the skin and taken to the abdomen, where an opening is made between two muscles for the generator to be placed there. Pilu went through the whole process like a champ. She did really well. The pacing worked very well for her. There was good lead capture, and her hearts now started beating at a rate of 130 beats per minute. And we saw some interesting changes. Interestingly, a week after surgery, where the ventricle wall actually now started thickening and looking like a normal heart. And she's doing really well. She's back to her pre-illness behavior, playing, jumping up on shelves, and being her naughty self. So in all of this, Ajay and Megha were just absolutely exemplary pet parents. They would come with Pilu for her appointments, never miss an opportunity to make sure that they were there every month and a half or 2 months, whatever the case may be. Even through the pacemaker process, they stayed here post the surgery for a week at the clinic, because we were just concerned. We did not want her to get an infection. We did not want her to jump around too much and dislodge the leads while incisions were healing. And they were not sure that she would do that at home. So they were here morning and night and staying with her through the process. And I think really that was instrumental in helping her heal so well and so fast.